Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Online with Enigma. So today I'll be taking you through the topic Mass Communication Research, Mark 321. So let's get on to brass track. What is research? Research, according to Adetoro, is a process of discovery. Research, according to Adetoro 1997, is a process of discovery. Research is also a movement from unknown to the known. Research is a systematic process, systematic, planned, and controlled procedure of investigating hypothetical propositions about a phenomenon. Now, research is the process of looking for answers to specific questions in an organized, objective, and reliable way. So, in research, you follow a systematic procedure, you follow a planned process, you investigate, you find answers to difficult questions. So many a time, lecturers would say that research is a voyage of discovery, a movement from the unknown to the known. Now, Mr. Akinwusi once stated that research is a voyage of discovery, a movement from the unknown to the known. Now, if you look at the etymology of the word research, I beg your pardon, you discover that we have which means again, and Shesya, which means to search. So by its adoption, research means to search again. Now, like I said, research comprises defining problems, formulating hypotheses, suggesting solutions, collecting data, evaluating data, and making deductions. Now, you may not know what is hypothesis. Now, hypothesis is a statement of fact that is yet to be proven to be true or untrue. A statement that has yet to be tested but required further study is called hypothesis. Now, I haven't defined what is research. Now, research provides many benefits. Now, there is a particular researcher who is very popular because of his contribution to research. His name is Kotari. You can take your time to find out who is Kotari. Kotari also defined research. Now, research advances knowledge. It helps us to see life objectively. Research helps us to know more about things that are happening around us. Research helps us to find answers to difficult questions. It helps us to think critically. Now, what are the features of a good research? Research is replicable. Research is systematic. Research involves a thorough process. Research helps us to collect data. Now, research is an expensive endeavor. Research brings about credibility. Now, research comprises of different aspects of learning, from collecting data to interpreting data to evaluating and investigating data and finding answers to difficult problems. Now, one of the key factors or key things that you need to know about research is that research is also based on reasoning. Research affects our reasoning. Now, in research, we look at experience, we look at reasoning. Many a time we consider personal experience, we consider the experience of others, we consider sources like authoritative sources like textbooks, like encyclopedia, like Google, and other materials that increase our knowledge. Now, when it comes to learning, Aristotle said that research is divided into basically two, based on reasoning. We have deductive and inductive. According to Aristotle, in deductive reasoning, we move from general to specific to particular or specific. Then in inductive reasoning, according to Francis Bacon, we move from particular to general. I'm going to be explaining that later on. So, what are the method or approach that we have in research? What are the approach that we have in research? We have, basically, I'm going to be talking about two approaches that we have in research. We have one, inductive approach, and two, we have deductive approach, research approach. Now, the research approach is like a methodology or a planned process that we adopt while conducting a research. A planned process. Research approach can be defined as a methodology or the procedure that is adopted while we conduct a research. So there are two types of research approach: inductive and deductive. Mark, when I was talking about reasoning, I mentioned inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Now, under the approach in research, we have inductive approach and deductive approach. Now, what is inductive approach? Now, when you formulate theories in in a research. When you formulate theory is an outcome of the process of a research. When you formulate theory during a research, those theories that you are formulating comes from a particular activity that you have engaged yourself in. And so in the inductive research process, now what we thoroughly focus on is the fact that in that process there is a movement from, you move from particular to general. Now, so in inductive approach, it means the process of research where a researcher moves from particular to general. Now, when you move from a set of observation, a set of findings, a set of discovery, you make conclusions based on what you have garnered, what you gathered. That is the inductive approach. So inductive approach is moving from particular to general. That is moving from a set of observation, set of discovery, set of pattern before you make your conclusion. So when we look at the inductive research approach, we talk about the qualitative research, the in-depth interview, ethnography, observation, and the like. Now, when I talk about deductive research, now in deductive, you are guided by collection of analysis, you are guided by the collection of data, you are guided by posting questions. Now, this deductive approach represents the most common type of approach that we have when it comes to research. It talks about when you move, it's an approach, like a linear approach. It talks about how you take your time before you get to a particular conclusion. It's like moving from general to specific. Now, so in deductive approach, you move from general to specific. Now, it's a process of moving from a pattern that may be logical or theoretical. When you move systematically, when you analyze, like you have theory, you have hypothesis, you have observations, then from all of these things, you make your conclusions. Now, if you now consider deductive and inductive approach, so what that in deductive approach, you move from general to specific. In the other one, you move from particular to general. So you must be able to understand that both of these approaches comes as a result of intense and proper reasoning. When you are able to do your proper reasoning, when you are able to put things together, you'll be able to understand what reasoning is. Reasoning is making either in conclusion. Reasoning talk about when you are reasoning, you are making conclusions. It can be inductive conclusions, can be deductive conclusions. So far so good. I've talked about what is research, figures of research, and the approach that we have in research. Now, I quite understand that you have been taught the project research. I'm going to be ampling on project research in my next explanation.